Just put yourself in the shoes of a graduate admission committee member and ask yourself a very simple question. Why should I give this student an admit to our university when he has a lot of backlogs and a low CGPA in his profile? If he performs the same after coming to our university, then it is our university's very reputation that is going to spoil, and that is not what they want, right? Though graduate admission committee members are going to perform a holistic analysis on your profile, backlogs and low CGPA, that is more number of backlogs and low CGPA, is going to affect your profile in a drastic manner, and this can be countered by various measures. In this video, I am going to explain you what are the measures you can take to counter the effect of low CGPA and more backlogs to support your application for master's profile to the universities in the United States. So why delay? Let's go into the video. Let's start this video with a discussion on how low CGPA and backlog history is going to affect your application or not, and does it really matter. Firstly, if you have one or two backlogs and if you have completed the backlogs, that is you have cleared the backlogs before applying to your master's universities, then it is hardly going to affect, because it shows that you are very focused on clearing your mistakes, and that will in turn support your application but not affect it. Also, when this backlog history is compensated by good grades, where you have rewritten the exams and passed with better grades, and which bloated your CGPA more, it is hardly going to affect your profile much. But again, if you have both backlog history as well as low CGPA, then it is going to affect your application, and I will explain you why. This is because you do not have anything to support your application or support your profile stating that you are academically capable of your application profile. So what happens is it creates a sense of doubt in the recruiter that you are not able to participate academically, and this in turn will affect your admit, because in India most universities have thousands of students, but what happens in masters is they are quite selective for the students, and academically they focus more. So the university's reputation is directly going to damage or directly going to affect when they take a student who is performing low. This is more applicable for more ranked universities or better ranked universities compared to medium or normal ranked universities. So this is very important point to note. Let's go on to the next one. The previous discussed point would give rise to a few doubts which I would like to clarify now itself. The first doubt is what is meant by good ranked universities. Usually better ranked universities is meant by 32 or 50, or the top 30 to 50 ranked universities are good ranked universities, and what happens is they focus on academics more, and that's the very reason backlogs and low CGPA is going to affect much. But this doesn't happen much for second tier universities or lower ranked universities when you cross 50-60 ranked universities. And another reason to note is that though you get an admit to top ranked universities with low CGPA or backlog history, I cannot say completely that you do not have an opportunity or you do not have a chance to get an admit. But though you get an admit, what happens is your scholarship chance decreases drastically, because you do not have anything to support your application, and there are various measures this can be countered as well. I'll explain that in the following parts of the video. In this part of the video, we are going to discuss how can you neutralize the negative effect of low CGPA and more number of backlogs on your profile with some measures. Let's talk about the first measure. The first measure is find a proper reason to mention it in your SOP of why you weren't able to pass that subject the very first time. Please note that I didn't tell you to find an excuse to why did you pass the subject, but you need to mention a proper reason of why you weren't able to pass the subject the very first time. This might include health issues or various other reasons of why you weren't able to pass, and you should remember to add that into your SOP so that the admission committee members would understand why you weren't able to score. So let's go on to the next point. One very efficient measure to improve your profile drastically and support your application even if you have low CGPA and a greater number of backlogs is by scoring more score in GRE. I know this is quite difficult because you need to prepare for a lot of time, but trust me, this is going to affect your application drastically. try to score as much as possible in GRE, and this is going to explain that you are capable of thinking and problem solving, and this will in turn support your application drastically. As I always mention, research improves your profile drastically because no bachelor student writes papers or takes part in research activities during their bachelor's rather than focusing on their academic studies and various other activities. So try to take part in research activities and try to bloat up your profile in research perspective. By that I mean try to take part in research activities like research papers or university research programs and research assistantships, etc. So this in turn helps your profile, and it's a proper reason that you are able to take part in academical activities, and you're well experienced in research as well. So backlogs aren't going to affect much here when you have research in your profile, and this is going to affect your application drastically. And other thing to note is that apart from a higher GRE score and research profile, if you have all these things, it will improve the chances of getting a scholarship. It is pretty sure that you will get a scholarship because the complete combination of research and research papers and internships and better CGPA is better GRE are going to put you forth apart from the compared to the tons of applications that they receive, because most usually do not do all these things, and that is one important reason to note. I did already mention in the first part of the video that graduate admission committee members are going to perform a holistic analysis of your profile before giving you an admit or rejecting your profile. So what you can do to improve your profile apart from a better GRE score or research profile? You can take part in extracurricular activities of your university in the bachelor's. For example, take part in club activities, try to be a role of responsibility in a club like president, secretary, treasurer, etc. This adds to your profile, this adds to your resume that you are interested to take part in various other activities, and this would increase the chance because you are a complete person and you are an all-rounder. Apart from academic perspective, you also take part in other activities as well. So this would in turn help your application. So try to be a holistic person and try to take part in various activities, various extracurricular activities to improve your profile, and this is one of the important reason which would help you to counter the measures of low CGPA and a greater number of backlogs and support your application in a drastical manner. From my personal experiences, I have explained how a typical bachelor student with low CGPA and a more number of backlogs can take simple measures to improve his profile to maximum possible extent, and which can provide him or admits into better universities and also scholarships as well. If you have more points to add to the same topic, you can just add in the comments for the viewers to see. Also, you can just mail me suggestions if you have any. Until the next video comes in, stay safe, stay informative. This is Vivek signing off. Thank you so much. Hey there, before you leave, if you have various other doubts on Masters Abroad series, try to check out the videos on my channel. I'm pretty sure your doubts will be clarified there. Thank you so much.